when you're in college, that's not when most of the cultural differences will occur, just because everyone is in a different place, right? Everyone is kind of uprooted for where I'm from, and they're put into this very diverse place, especially USC. I think like half of I can't remember the percentages, but it's like super high international kids, like super diverse place. So when you show up and it's like everyone's from a different place, so I might have been from Morocco, but if you're from Maine or New Hampshire, you also have cultural differences and your family's also far and you also have to deal with that too. So when I was in college, I feel like there were challenges more so in figuring out, what to do with the fact that I was an international person. Like getting an apartment was, I'm assuming, slightly harder than if I had been American, especially if my parents had been American, or getting a job like we talked about, or stuff like that, like making sure my visa stuff was always valid, getting my travel signature before I left the country, and all that good stuff. But I would say culturally it really started to hit for me when I graduated, just because it's like now you're kind of on your own, and the people around you, especially if you're like the only new person at your job, the people around you kind of like have their lives together, and some of them are married, and they have households that they run, and they're like these active people in society, and you kind of have to right now adjust to that, on top of not being from here. And reaching out to my parents helped to a certain extent, but like they don't know all the challenges that happen here. Like, for example, a big thing was credit. Like when I was in college, I never understood why you needed a credit card or why credit was important. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, you have to be in debt to show that you can, you're worthy of being given stuff. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like I should show you that I'm trustworthy by the fact that I'm not in debt, not by getting in debt. So when I was in college, I was like, this is just ridiculous. And when I graduated and I started working, I was like, oh my God, like I actually need a credit card and a credit score, and I need to get a car, and all that stuff. And figuring that out when you don't have, I would say, like family or people around you that you can ask questions to, is harder. But I just went to the people at my job, and especially like find the older people that you kind of like look up to. Like there was this one guy who also graduated from USC that I feel like I trusted a lot, and he was the one to interview me, so I feel like we had good rapport. And I would just ask him these questions like, should I get a credit card? And obviously get a credit card. How does that work? How does that work? And then they kind of guide you through it. So I would say culturally, that was the most difficult things. If anyone can learn from the mistakes I learned, is try to, maybe during the summer, if you have some time, try to develop your financial literacy a little bit, so that you're not completely freaked out like I was out of college. Like I got my first credit card the week before I started working, which no, get your credit card right now and build your credit score right now.